moderator for today's event, and I want to welcome everyone. Um, our host is already here. If you can hear me, can you say hello? Can you unmute yourself and say hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Sounds good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do like a rundown of your bio. Is that okay? And then you can continue. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Um so I'm going to go ahead. Or do we have to wait for other people to join us? No, I think I already saw it there that we can start exactly 6 o'clock. So it's already 6. We are going to run along. Okay, so today our topic today is the pillars of health. And our speaker is Faith Ihongbe. And I am the facilitator, Miss Elim Obioma. Okay, so Mrs. Elim Obioma, please. Okay, so I'm going to read your synopsis. Our own Faith Ihongbe is a clinical pharmacist, wife, and mother of 3 who is passionate about helping families build healthier, balanced lifestyle. And in today's digital world, she's the founder of Fit Fun Farm, a Midland, Texas-based community promoting fun, practical fitness and wellness for both physical and mental well-being. She serves as the North America lead for her Mindset Kids Bible Academy and supports the Hair Mindset organization. Faith is also a certified mental health first aider through Mental Health First Aid USA and the founder of Child of Destiny, where she equips children with life skills and leadership principles inspired by John C. Maxwell's I Lead framework. An author of 2 children's books and a national Bible Bee host. She's committed to helping children and families build strong routine, resilience, and confidence to thrive. So, Mrs. Faith Ihogbe, you have about 30 minutes to start your session now. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you to the Nigerian community and the whole team for having me here this evening. I count it as a privilege to be here. I thank you so much. Do I have sharing rights, please? Let me make sure I do have that. Am I able to? Okay, thank you. So we will just dive right in today. Welcome, everybody. And I am sure it's raining wherever you are, but I'm sure you're having time relaxing with family or just relaxing at home today. All right, so we will be talking about the pillars of health. Pillars of health. This is such an important topic in today's digital world. So, just looking at the how we can begin to build a strong foundation for lifelong wellness, because you know what? When we have health, we have wealth. So, like they say, health is wealth. So, we'll be looking at the pillars of health today, okay? So I'll be going along these slides and just I'll be talking about the major pillars of health. There are studies that have looked at one pillar of health. Some studies have looked at 4 pillars of health. Some studies have looked at 5 pillars of health. But the reason we're looking at these pillars of health, this was termed from a study from the blue zone. It's called the blue zone. They looked at certain areas, and they looked at how they were able to live up to 100 years. So they traveled out to different countries, and from those countries they looked at everything they were doing, and from those people that are living long, they found that these were the major pillars of health that they incorporated into their life. So we'll also be looking at how lifestyle habits affect overall wellness. So we'll be looking at how we can practically begin to improve our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Because guess what? Health is not just only like our physical being, right? It's a holistic part of trying to incorporate everything to making sure that we are really, really living well. I'm also going to look at like barriers that can negatively impact health, and also how we can actually begin to create sustainable habits for lifelong wellness. Okay. So, okay. And then so when we talk about health, when I say what is health, so like I said, health is not just like, it's not the absence of disease. It's not like, oh, I'm in the hospital, so I'm not healthy because I'm not in the hospital. Health is, it's all inclusive. And we're looking at physical health, mental health, nutrition, and also lifestyle. And guess what? When one area suffers, it often affects the other part. So let's say we think like we're healthy physically, we're healthy, we're going to the gym, we're working out, but then mentally we're suffering. So if that part of mental suffering begins to affect the other part of our physical health, right? Or we're suffering in other aspects, it affects other areas. So building healthy habits consistently, can actually help to improve our energy, our mood, even our productivity, our work. So, and with health, we look at habits, right? Somebody said that it takes about 21 days. Some studies have said 21 days. Some studies have said 83 days. But it takes like these daily habits, they are actually what helps to shape our health outcomes. So it takes a while, but when you begin to do it, it becomes a habit. And the small, consistent actions, they actually help to create lasting change in our bodies and in our health overall. So, when we feel good, when we're healthy, when we're okay, this leads to reduction in stress and burnout. And guess what? When you're healthy, overall healthy, you'll be more productive in every area of your life. You'll be more productive as a mom, as a dad, be more productive at work, be more productive in every area of your life. And so it's very, very, very important that we're discussing this today, okay? Um, so it's very important we're talking about this today. So, like I said, there were studies that looked at things that are beneficial to our bodies, and they came up with these pillars. They are called pillars because when you're trying to build a foundation, you put one pillar upon one pillar upon one pillar, and you get the full foundation. So, this is what they looked at, and these were things that people did when they were early, and they were things that were important to their bodies. And some of them, like when they asked them, these were things they said that they did. So they looked at nutrition, so eating healthy meal. Some of them said that most of them said that they ate healthy, they had very good physical activity, sleep and recovery. They also looked at their mental and emotional health, and they looked at their spiritual health. So this could be for you, it could be mindfulness, it could be meditation, it could be whatever your spiritual is, and also they looked at healthy relationships and community, because guess what, we're not meant to do life alone, we're meant to do life in community. The way humans are created, humans are communal, so community is very important. And you could tell, like from the studies, community was a very, very, very big key to them. So pillar one, nutrition. So when we talk about like nutrition, why do we even talk about nutrition? Why do we talk about eating healthy? We talk about these because remember, like if you're driving a car, your car needs to work, but in order for your car to work, you need gas, you need gas, you need fuel. So nutrition is a very, very big key because it's what drives your body, it's what fuels your body, it's what makes your body feel good, it's what makes you feel good overall. So you can be doing, let's say you're doing physical activity. The studies that I've looked at people that do physical activity and they're not working on the diet, and they found out that if you're doing physical activity and not focusing on your nutrition, not eating healthy, it doesn't work. So they even looked at how they compared eating healthy versus just if you're eating healthy and then you're doing exercise. They found that even eating healthy is a very, 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 very big component to working out. So if you're eating healthy, there was a study that looked at people that ate healthy and people that didn't work out. They found people that ate healthy and just like did a little bit of intermittent fasting with their eating healthy, they actually were able to feel good overall, like in every area of their life. So eating healthy is a big, big, big key to the pillars of health. And then ensuring that we're eating whole, nutrition-dense food, prioritizing fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And we're drinking enough water. The body is made up of about 80% of water. So it's recommended to drink at least 1 gallon of water. But if you're somebody that doesn't really like water, you can start little. You can start little by just drinking like 1 liter and then upping it and increasing your water intake. There was a tip that a tip that helped me a while back with drinking water was to drink my first 1 liter of water like before 9 a.m. and then drink the other liter of water at 12 and then the last at like between the hours of 4 to 6. So just ensuring that we're getting enough water in our body because it's really important because water flushes a lot of toxins from our body. Most of our body organs, they need water to work. They do need water to work. So that's why we have to ensure that we're drinking water, 6 to 8 glasses of water if you can, or just going for the 1 gallon if you can. So it's important. And then reducing processed foods, reducing excess sugar, and then also making sure we're just making our food at home, having good meal prep. If you can get someone that can make really good healthy food for you, that's fine too. But it's important because eating healthy leads to we have very good energy. So if you eat healthy, you have energy. You can do things. You can be more productive. It prevents diseases. Your brain, you begin to think. You can think. You can think more. There are brain foods, right? Ensuring that we're taking those brain foods that help our brain to think more. So we're productive. So we're productive in our workplaces, at home, or wherever. And then also helps with our weight and immune support. And then eating a balanced meal. So the reason they do recommend this, so the Harvard is called the Harvard Eating Plate, and that was taken from the Harvard Eating Plate. They do recommend at least 5 portions of a variety of fruit and vegetables every day. And that's because there's evidence that shows that people that eat at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables a day, they have a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and some cancers. So when we talk about the 5 portions, what that looks like, it looks like 2.5 cups of cooked vegetables or 5 cups of raw vegetables. So that would give you your 5 servings, okay? And then eating 5 portions is not as hard as it sounds because you can eat your vegetables or your fruits. You can either eat them fresh, frozen, canned, dried, or juice, just whatever works for you. So 1 portion could be 80 gram of fresh canned or frozen fruit and vegetables. Another portion could be 30 gram of dried fruit, which should be kept to just incorporating them during your meal time. Okay, so that way you are ensuring that you're getting it. So if you just have create an idea in your mind of like what a cup is, it's okay, I get a cup now, or I get 2 cups now, I get another cup now. So it's not hard because like so you take 1 apple, it could just be one apple, banana, slice of pineapple or melon. So those could be considered as 1 portion. And then they also, another way to do that, they also recommend high fiber starchy food like potatoes, breads, I would say yam for those of us Africans, rice or pasta. But but it's best to for your base meals, you want to ensure that they are actually just meals that are grown from the ground that have not been worked on. So like potatoes are good. They are very good starchy potatoes. When I talk about bread, I'm talking about whole wheat bread, rice, white rice. You could do white rice or brown rice and pasta. So you could use there are some pasta that they make now. There's Banza pasta. That one is very high in protein. It has like 18 grams of protein. So just using that, potato is really good because with the skins, when you take potato with the skins, they're a very good source of fiber and vitamins. So these are very good way to make sure we're actually getting what we need for the body. And then dairy or dairy alternatives. So they also recommend like protein, beans, fish, eggs, meats. and unsaturated oils, fats. So looking at that's where your olive oil will come in, your mackerel. So they look at about 78 gram, and then plenty of fluids, like I said. All right, so physical activity. Yes, why do we need physical activity? Yes, so physical activity actually helps to strengthen your body and it also helps to strengthen your mind. So even small amounts of movement throughout the day can actually help to improve long-term health. So exercise is very good. It helps your heart, it's good for cardiovascular health, brain health, and it's also recommended that you incorporate strength training and cardio into your routine. So one way you can do this would be to just take a walk, take a walk, take a 30 minutes walk. So the recommendation is 30 minutes walk, 30 to 40 minutes walk, 5 days a week. So 1 hour of 150 hours, no, 150 minutes of exercise hours, yes, hours of exercise. So that's important as well. So walking, you could park you so if you don't want to do the full walk, you could park your car and walk a distance when you go to the mall, park your car, park your car from afar and work. Or if you're in a place of work, taking the stairs, all those actually adds up because what movement does is it helps to reduce our stress and also helps to boost our mood. And what matters the most is consistency. That's why they recommend doing 30 minutes every day for 5 to 6 days a week. And guess what? You don't need to go to the gym to actually do the work. There are lots and lots of YouTube videos you can do at home if you're a busy mom or if you have the little ones, you can put them in the stroller somewhere and just do your walk. You can take them in the stroller, take a walk out. You can do it at home, you can do it in the gym. They have fitness classes you can also be part of. I know the YMCA, they do have several fitness classes. They have Zumba, they have all kind of different fitness classes. And then you could do your gym membership if you're part of those. Or in here in the Midland area, we do have there's the 432 running club and they run 3 times a week. They run on Tuesdays, but these are morning runs. So they run in the mornings at Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then Fridays. So you could be part of that. That's a community right there. Or they do have the Soul Sisters. They'll do their walks or runs in the evening. So we have all these communities that we can be part of in the mainland Odessa area. Also Odessa area, yeah. And then if you are over 40, it is recommended that you incorporate strength training to your routine. And the reason is because it helps to rebuild lean mass. Because as we age and as we grow older, we're losing muscle mass. So incorporating that actually helps to rebuild your lean mass. It helps to boost your resting metabolism for those that are female. It helps to protect our bones against osteoporosis, and then as you age, you find that you're able to be more mobile and not like fragile. So it's important that you incorporate strength training for at least 3 times a week. So you could do someday, you could say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want to do upper body on Monday. Wednesday could be lower body, and then Friday could be total body workouts, strength training. And guess what? Even the strength training is also available with via YouTube videos. So there's a fitness blender videos. You could use those. There's also there's a lot of them. There's so many. There's so many. Yeah. If you're somebody that love to dance, you could also do that as well. So staying active. There are different ways that we can stay active, okay? For those of us that work from home, there's some sort of little bit treadmill that you can it's not a big one, it's just only a treadmill by itself. You can just go if you work for some time, you can just go on it, do a little bit, get back, sit down. So there are different ways. So the most important thing is to have an intention, is to say, I want to be somebody that works out. And having that intention actually sets you up for success. So when you have the intention, then you begin to plan exercise into your daily routine. So I would say schedule your workout as you would schedule your doctor's appointment. So have your calendar down and put your workout down there, state the days you're going to be working out. And then accountability helps, and this is where our 432 running crew or the Soul Sisters or any other community that are running in the Middle Odessa area, that's where they come into play. So to connect with them. You can connect with a friend or a family member or just somebody else that loves to work out and say, even that, would you like to work out with me this day, this day, this day? So having that extra person with the days you don't feel motivated, just having that extra person check on you, or even just knowing that, oh, I have these people working out. There's some days that I don't feel like working out, but when I know that, oh, the 4:32 running crew will be running, and then I was okay, I have to go, this. So, and then you could also try counting your steps. So working up to, they recommend 10,000 steps and above. So you could have a step counter that helps you count your steps. There's the Nike, and there's the 5K to 4K, 5K ones app. So there's apps that helps you that helps track your steps. So you could say that you want to make sure you're tracking your steps, and one of the things that you can do is to ensure that I hit my 10,000 steps. So you can say you can say I must hit my 10,000 steps every day. So that's another way to start getting active. And then you can keep, when you start working out, you have to do like brisk walking is important. And something you could do is just, instead of, sometimes we're in a digital age, right? The TV is there, the computer is there, the phone is there. But sometimes in the evening you could just tell your spouse or even your family, okay, let's go take a walk, you know and then just playing with it. For those of us that have kids, playing with the kids also counts. Taking a stroll, evening stroll after dinner in the neighborhood also counts. And then just ensuring that these things are, you're moving around the office. If you have to go somewhere, you're climbing the elevator, you're taking the stairs. So this thing, they help. And if you don't have the time, sometimes I don't have the time, but you don't have to do all 30 minutes or 1 hour at a stretch. You can split it up, do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but just ensure that you are actually moving. And then you could sign up for classes or specific events. I know here in our area, they do have the ECR marathon. They have 5K, they have 10K, and then they have the marathon. So we have so many events in our area, signing up for those running or walking or jogging events, that actually also helps to make sure that you're moving. Okay, so when you want to start working out, I think or some of us are still working out. So the first thing to ask yourself, or the first thing to say, is frequency. So how often will you be doing the activity, So having that idea and say, like, you're planning it, you have to plan it. So frequency is like, how often will you be doing it? So 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. So having that, and then just staying consistent with that, and then asking yourself, how much will I work out? So sometimes a day before, I would just be thinking, I was okay, do I want to do 40 minutes tomorrow, or do I want to do 1 hour? So planning that, asking yourself, how often do I want to do it? Do I want to split it up? Do I want to do one day? And then also looking at how much energy is needed. There's light activity, which is just like walking. Some days you say, okay, I want to jog. Some days you're like, okay, I want to do vigorous activity. I want to run, So having that idea, but you have to keep pushing yourself to ensuring that you're meeting your goal. Okay, I will just skip the slides because of my time. If there's time, I will come back to this. This is just different kind of exercise we can do from the comfort of our home. All right, so the power of routine. So routine, it's important. So just like some of us will wake up and we're like, okay, I have to wake up, I'm going to work, I'm going to church. So that's what exercise becomes a habit, and it just becomes a routine for us. So daily training actually helps to build resilience. It does help a lot to build resilience, to build confidence, and overall, you have long-term investment in your overall well-being. So, one of the ways, if you're someone that needs resilience and to do the things that you need to do, let's say you have a busy work, a busy life, you have kids, you have work and all that. When you start working out, you find that you're more resilient in different areas of your life. All right, pillar three, which is our sleep and recovery. So, a lot of people underestimate the importance of sleep, but recovery or sleeping is not laziness. It's important. It's a very, very critical component of being well, of wellness. So it's important sometimes, because the thing is, like, because we're living in an age where we're busy, work, digital, and all that. It's important that we're taking care of ourselves. We're finding time to rest, to take care, to just invest in ourselves, to take care of ourselves. So sleep helps um So it helps to rejuvenate our bodies while we're sleeping. The different organs in our body that are getting repaired. So they say that generally adults need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So setting those clear goals for like your health, your fitness, your sleeping habits is very important as well. Creating those calming bedtime routines is very important. Personally, I just normally once this particular time, 6, 7, my phone goes off. As for that personally, my phone goes off. Reducing screen time before bed, like keeping the phones outside the bedroom. Phone doesn't come to the bedroom. My phone goes off when it's that time. Okay, I'm done for the day. My phone is off. Reducing the use of social media. Personally, I just go on post and then I'm out. I don't just keep scrolling. No, so I intentionally pick the page I'm going to see on social media. I get what I want, and then I'm out because we have so much information coming at us. So having those too many information, when we have too many information coming at us at night, when you're trying to sleep, your brain starts thinking about, oh, what I saw, what I heard, because the way our brain functions, our brain subconsciously, as we're looking at these things at night, you begin to think about what you're saying. So another thing that helps is journaling, right? Journaling, just writing down like tasks or just journaling how your day went before sleeping. Because what happens sometimes, you're so busy during the day, you're trying to sleep at night, your brain is trying to catch up the things, your subconscious then begins to work, trying to catch up the things that you missed throughout the day. So journaling also helps with sleep. So just writing down how your day went, what you accomplished during the day, the task for tomorrow, what I'm going to do tomorrow, what are my top priorities for tomorrow. So that way, when you've uploaded everything, or even talking to your spouse, when you've uploaded everything, when you go to bed, your mind, your brain is completely empty, and you're able to rest. So you are able to rest and not feel exhausted. So I just put this joke on there. See, if you ask any kid to run an errand for you, if you ask them at bedtime, they will love to go because kids are always active. All right, so for sleep, so I say go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. So if you're, I personally am a morning person, so I like to wake up at 5. So that means I have to go to bed like early. So I wake up at 5 to do my workout. So going to bed, just using the same time. So having this like using the same routine. So even when I'm on vacation or somewhere, my 5 a.m. is my 5 a.m. I'm able to knock out things before the kids wake up, and then also relaxing at least an hour before bed. So taking just relaxing, reading something calming, something soothing to your mind, ensuring that you're using if you're sensitive to light, you're using dark curtains, and then exercising during the day actually helps to calm your mind as you go to bed at night. All right, so what things that we need to avoid in order to sleep better? So avoid eating a big meal late at night or exercising at least 2 hours before bed. You want to make sure you're rested before you go to sleep, and then avoid watching just watching TV or using devices like your smartphone before you go to bed. Avoid napping during the day. I say that for if you take long naps, well, of course, 15 minutes nap, 20 minutes nap, 30 minutes nap, those are also helpful during the day. Okay, so mental health was something that they did look at. They added this to one of the pillars of health because our mental health affects our relationships, it affects our decision making, productivity, our physical wellness, protecting our emotional health is very, 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 very essential, right? So, like I said before, if your mental health is not okay, you will not be able to take care of your physical health. If you're not okay mentally, you're not okay, you're anxious or worried about something, you wouldn't want to go work out, because your mind will be thinking about all these other things. So we have to make sure that we're also protecting our mind, managing stress in healthy ways, taking care of yourself. I know what self-care actually is not you going to sometimes okay, self-care, we'll talk about self-care these days. Self-care is not just like say like go like, you can go to the spa or you can do your nails and all that. But self-care is you actually asking yourself, what does my body need right now? What do I need right now for myself? What does my body need? Is it sleep? Okay, then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to take care of myself. What does my body need right now? Is it a massage? Okay, then I'm going to go to get massage. But it's actually you sitting there and asking yourself, what do my body need? So managing stress in healthy ways, practicing gratitude and mindfulness. So I practice gratitude daily. So this is something that has actually, it's very, very, it helps me. in my emotional and mental health. So I was telling myself, listing 5 things I'm grateful for. So I have a gratitude jar. I would list about 5 things. So having that, listing things you're grateful for, because you know what, when you find out, because the brain naturally, the way the brain is, the brain naturally tends to go to look at the negative, right? That's how the brain tends to look at, oh, what is not happening, what haven't I done, what do I need to do? But you know, when we begin to intentionally practice gratitude, you begin to see all of the many blessings, all the many things you have in your life. So practicing gratitude daily, and also journaling, reflecting things that you've just quiet reflection, looking at what worked well, what can you do better, you know, and then even seeking support when we're overwhelmed is also important, and then setting healthy boundaries. So all these are important to help. They're important and they do help to take care of our mental emotional health. Okay, so when we talk about stress busters, yes. So stress busters, so we can do things like being active. Being active, physical activity helps reduce stress, taking control of situations, you know, connecting with people, you know, like this our amazing Nigerian community we have with our upcoming cultural days. It's important connecting with people, you know. There was just a show I was listening to, and they were talking about how that connection helps to reduce stress, and we're talking about like meaningful connection. They're talking about how that on a weekly basis you should have 5 people that you're connecting with on a weekly basis, because we should have 5 people that you're connecting with on a weekly basis. That helps to reduce stress, you know. That is one way we can take care of our mental emotional health. You know, having some time for your reflection, you know, helping other people. In our community, we have a lot of ways to volunteer to help the community, you know, the food bank and all that. So just being involved with that, gratitude, working smarter by prioritizing, asking yourself, what are my top 3 priorities for the day that you need to knock out for that day? You know, speaking of like managing ourselves up, you know, accepting things that we can't change, meditating, mindfulness, music is very important as well. And then laughter. Okay, so when I talk about laughter, laughter is also one of the pillars of health they looked at. When they asked these people why they were living very, very long lives, they said that they laugh on a daily basis. You know, and guess what? This laughter can just be something, it can be a pretend laugh, you know. The MD Anderson Center in Houston, they do have a room where they take people that have cancer. They just take them to that room to laugh every day. They just take them there to laugh, and they find out people as like they have better outcomes for those patients. So laughter is important. Even just a pretend laugh is important as well. You know, laughter helps to increase our blood flow, reduces pain, you know, reduces some hormone, some chemical neurochemicals in our body, and they've looked at how it helps to prevent disease. You know, it makes you happy, it helps to improve your emotional health. So one of the pillars of health that they looked at was laughter. So let's begin to laugh and laugh more. Okay, and then spiritual health. Spiritual health, so if you're just whatever your spiritual is to you is also important, but taking care of your spirit, your soul, your body. You know, some people pray, which is fine, so that helps to build resilience. Some people just go out and they meditate, and the thinking about they meditate, that also helps. So what it does help for us, it helps to create stability during stressful seasons of life, you know, because you know, as you go through life, there are potholes, there are valleys, there are mountains, but having taking care of our spiritual health helps us get through whatever comes our way, you know, and then having just inner peace within, you know, taking time to just talk to the divine, it helps to strengthen us as well. Okay, another thing they looked at when they asked these people about when they looked at the pillars of health, they did talk about healthy relationships and community. You know, humans, we are designed for connection. We are designed for connection. You know, supportive relationships helps to improve emotional resilience and overall health. You know, communicating within the community, you know, we are not meant to do life alone. We're not meant to live life in isolation. We are meant to do life with the community. And that's why I really love our Nigerian community, the community that we have here. You know, They try to do different things. They try to bring people together. It's very, very important as well. Okay, so one of the things that they spoke about was that people that actually have supportive community, they are much happier, they are much healthier. Within your community, you can have somebody that you work out with, or somebody that gives you, they give you tips, right? They give you that thing you're trying to do. You have somebody that will just say, oh, this is how I do it. They share knowledge. They listen. So surrounding ourselves with those relationships that help to build us up was one of the pillars of health they looked at. That is also important as well. And then this is just by the way, but this is just prevention, taking care of ourselves, ensuring we're doing a regular medical checkup, because guess what? Preventative health care actually does save life, and early intervention often leads to better outcomes and in turn lower healthcare costs. So staying current on vaccination screenings, monitor blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, like checking all these things out up early, addressing health concerns early, like going to see the doctor, just following up on our health is also very important. All right, so daily habits for better health, small habits create big results. So when you say I want to work out, if you're trying to work out, you don't have to do it all in one day. Start small. I just say start small. Start small. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes here. Just start small. Start small with your water. Start small with your moving daily. Start small with your prioritization of sleep. Just start small, and also spending time in building healthy routines is also important, because transformation usually doesn't happen all at once, but it comes from repeated small actions which are done consistently over time. So some of the barriers to health are, we health challenges are very common, and the goal for our health is not perfection, right? It's progress. So starting small and then building gradually. If you have a busy schedule, trying to say, okay, what can I do with my schedule? What can I do to make my schedule better? How can I incorporate these pillars of health into my schedule? Reducing stress, working on just making sure we're eating healthy and being consistency. And like I said, in our world of digital age that we're in, ensuring that we're not overly stimulated by digital content. So one of the ways that we can build this sustainable wellness lifestyle is to start just being real and say, okay, I don't have much time, but I can do this week. This week I can walk for 15 minutes. So being just having realistic goals, right? And then being consistent, tracking your habits, celebrating small wins. I mean, if you say you're gonna work out all throughout the week and you did it, then take yourself out, give yourself celebrate it. It's something. It's progress, because sustainable health habits this should actually help to sustain your life. They should not be overwhelming. So simplicity is important. Consistency is powerful. Because guess what? Wellness is not, you don't just do it all at once. It's a lifelong journey. You're going to be doing it. So start from somewhere. All right. So every healthy choice matters. Small, consistent actions can completely change the direction of your health and your well-being over time. So you don't need to be perfect to become healthy. You just need to start and start somewhere. All right, taking care of your body. Take care of your body, everyone, because it's the only place that you have to live in. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I would be happy to entertain any questions. Stop my share. Now we just stop my share now.
Oh, thank you so very much, Mrs. Faith. We are so excited to have listened throughout your session. It's so interesting. I like the fact that you bothered on, I think you summarized it into maybe 5 pillars. You talked about the physical health, our
Mhm.
physical, like the physical, we need to like pay attention on what we eat, what we put into our mouths, and then, or what we eat generally. Then you emphasized on drinking water. You also mentioned the fact that we should be able to exercise. Exercise is key. And then you also mentioned the fact that sleep is non-negotiable. It's what makes us to recover faster. I mean, we are able to like build up fast. We should also be able to manage stress and then get to stress less and then sleep better. You talked about our mental and emotional health, and then also equipped us with common stress busters, our spiritual health, and then building healthy relationships and community. In fact, at a point, I was like, is she finishing already? Is she not going to mention the aspect of having to build healthy relationships and community, just like we are doing here in Nigerians in West Texas? And so I'm glad that you were able to touch everything. You were able to do everything. In fact, the preventive care and then daily habits for better health. Thank you so much. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to be looking into the comment section, um, comment at the chat to see if anyone has dropped any questions so far, and then we are going to move on from there. Please, if okay, I can see, I can see a comment in here. It says, "Doctor, healthy food is expensive now. No, for an average Nigerian family in Midland or Odessa, there are some. What are some realistic meals we can start without breaking the bank?" That's a very good question. So, Doctor, over to you. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. That's a very good question, and I understand where you're coming from and the question you're asking about trying to be like just being realistic, right? Like here in Midland, Odessa, what can we do? Okay, actually I observed though that eating healthy is not that expensive. So and I would say, I'll just give you like a snippet of how to incorporate that. So I find that eating healthy though, it's not all that expensive. I would say in Nigeria, maybe Nigeria, and I'm talking about Nigeria because this is our community. So in eating healthy in Nigeria, it's considered more expensive than here. Okay, so and a realistic way could be like, so you could incorporate like oatmeal. So if you want to get the oatmeal, like the oatmeal could be something that could be like a breakfast item for a family. If you don't like oatmeal, you could also do I don't have the other one now, but oatmeal could be one of the healthy meals you can incorporate for your family. Or eggs. Eggs is one of the things you can never go wrong with eggs in the morning. If it's to use a little bit of olive oil to fry it, or to boil it for a family here, you can never go wrong with eggs. So that, or even yogurt is something you can have for breakfast. Yogurt is very, very good for gut health. So that, like a tub of yogurt, sometimes you could use the tub of yogurt with berries, strawberries or blueberries, or any berries. Berries are also very good. So you could just sprinkling the berries into your yogurt another way, or putting the berries in your oatmeal is another breakfast item, or even using your oatmeal to make a pancake. So putting your oatmeal bananas to make pancake for the family with eggs in it is another way. So you can see like that for breakfast. It won't be that costly. And then for lunch ideas could be things like, if you like to eat, I don't if you like to eat beans or plantain or yam. Yeah, yam could be expensive. Yeah, yam could be expensive for us here. So beans or so like using beans, you can use beans, you can do the white rice, you can do the banza pasta, banza, except because banza has more, it's very high in protein. So now you're using banza. If you wanted to use spaghetti, but you can swap the spaghetti for banza. And then so using that with the vegetables. So those are some ways, or some ways you can make sure you're eating like healthy. So and then for dinner, so dinner could also be dinner. Yeah, dinner could be eggs or fish or low fat chicken. So using all those ways, you can find that if you it's just having. I think the best would be to have a 7 day meal plan, and then following that through 7 day meal plan using healthy substitutes for other meals, and then seeing how it goes for your family.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I think I need to acknowledge that we have a lot of persons here. Thank you so much for joining. And then I think there's another one. Yes, Many Nigerians believe once you are not sick, you're healthy. How do we shift that mindset towards preventive health? Now, before you answer that, I want to like ask on behalf of everyone, especially that you mentioned it, right? Can you give us, not now, maybe afterwards, you can forward it to us, right? Can you give us I know we have to pay for it after now, do you get? So let me use this opportunity to, ask on behalf of everyone. Can you give us a realistic 7-day meal plan for every one of us, and then factoring the propensity to eat Nigerian foods, right? Can you do that for us? I'll be so grateful to, get to benefit from that. So you do that for us, and then of course, how do we shift our mindset from, or towards preventive health care?
Okay, all right. Thank you for that question. So I would send that. I will send the 7-day meal plan, but I'll also go ahead and send a document that gives you substitutes. So for like
Mhm.
bread, I'll send you a document that will give you the substitute for bread, what kind of
Mhm.
bread, the brands, and oil, rice, all those and all the brand. I'll send that as well to you. That's something I have on hand as well. Okay, so the question is how can you shift your if your health, how can you shift from to preventative care? I think for me, I think it's just having these discussions, right? Having these discussions and then actually just diving into doing it and then see, I would say dive into doing it and then see, like let's say for example physical activity. You feel like physical activity, you feel like you're healthy, so physical activity, you're healthy, so you don't need to do it.
Madam, go ahead. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I need to
so
mute my.
try it. So I would say try it, give it a week or two and then come back and see how it works for you. Or I would also say, even in the case of eating healthy, I would say try it for like a week or two or even 3 weeks and then come back and see how it works for you. And I said that because I used to have a client that told me that, oh, I don't feel like I should work, I don't feel like I should be eating healthy, I'm okay, I don't feel like I should do this to prevent all these diseases or whatever. I feel like I'm okay. So I could try it for 1 week, try it for two, try it for 3 weeks. And then later she came back, she's like, oh, I feel so better now. Like, I can't believe I've been missing that. I feel like I haven't tried it before, so I didn't know what I was missing out of by doing that. So I would say give it a try and see if there's any improvement or if you're getting better, like with stress level or different areas of your life.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't see more question, but I have a few questions myself. So I hope you can correct some common nutrition myths people hold. You understand? Like, what are those common nutrition myths that people should stop believing? That will help them. I know that we don't live in a community where we have access to things like Agbo and all of that. But I mean, people could always do stuff for themselves to even have a way of assessing them and every other thing that is associated with health, but it's definitely a myth. So what's your opinion on that? How do we go about correcting those myths? Yeah.
Okay, so one of the myths that I think one of the myths is like it could be that maybe for sugar or something. Or okay, I think I have one. One of the myth is where people think that so let's say herbs, right? So herbs, people may think that okay, I don't need herbs, I don't need to take herbs or something. But looking at some herbs are really powerful. So you some herbs are very powerful, like looking at turmeric, ginger, garlic, and all that. Those are helpful to the body, and because they're naturally grown, so they have properties that are helpful to the body. So that's one. I could also talk about like sugar, right? Let's talk about sugar. And talk about sugar because sugar is better than everything that we that we eat. Is better than everything. So when you look at sugar, sugar doesn't have any benefit for the body. There's no benefit of sugar whatsoever in the body. So just understanding that oh, sugar is not beneficial, and then if you really really, really do need it, you can swap it with other items such as maybe like honey. You can do honey, the unfiltered raw honey. So that's something you can also use as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a question in here. If NIWT wanted to organize a community wellness challenge or healthy lifestyle initiative, what would that realistically look like?
Okay. Thank you for asking that question. So if they were to organize a wellness challenge or that kind of initiative, so I think for me it would look like first of like creating awareness of preventative health. So for women, it will be look like talking to them about like bone scans for women that are over 40. So it will look like having that bringing into the community preventative health, cholesterol, blood pressure, because sometimes when when people know that, oh, I have this or I have this, my blood pressure is up, is elevated or something, they will become, when they are self-aware, they will become eager to take care, to actually venture into doing these things that they need to do for their health. So I think for me it's just talking about preventative health first off in the community, bringing all those in, let them check their BMI, let them check and say, okay, oh, okay, you're obese, letting them know the effects of all these things, talking about that. So that gives them the zeal, the motivation to then begin to say, okay, now I know I have this. Now I know I have I have my blood pressure is up. Now I know my BMI is up. Now I know my bone scan is low. Now I know all these. That gives them the motivation to say, okay, then I can begin to work to do what I need to do to help take care of myself in the long run.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question I have would have to do with sleep. Yeah, like what are some common warning signs that the person's body is not getting adequate rest and recovery? Yeah. Can you tell
Okay.
us a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. All right. So one of the signs is that you get very, very irritable, right? You get very, very irritable. You have low, you can't really think, you are thinking, but you're not thinking as well as you should. You're very irritable. You get angry like easily. You're not happy, you're not laughing as you should, you're not happy. So you begin to see those signs like your fuse is short. That's what I would say. So you begin to see like all that. So those are signs that you begin to look out for. It could also be, so let's talking about looking at labs, and it could also be like you check your blood pressure is high, so you're stressed. So those are the things that you should look out for. Like, are you tired? Are you just sleepy? Always sleepy? You're just easily tired. You're irritated by little things. So that are things you begin to like look out for.
Okay, thank you very much. And then if we have time, I'm going to ask another question. But just
Okay.
before then, what do you think? I know that someone could be stressed, like normal, right? We just get stressed. And then there's also the one that is like a mental health challenge. You know that this one is beyond stress, this one's mental health is ground zero. So what is the difference between normal stress and a mental health challenge requiring professional support?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so mental health challenge, like, so let's talk about like anxiety versus or chronic anxiety. So the difference is like, so if you see that, so like now, if you're working on a project, right, you may feel a little bit cranky, right, irritated, right? But after, okay, I could give an example. I like to be practical. So I was presenting today. I also had, we had a kid stuff we were doing. So I was like, okay, I need to take care of this, take care of that. So, but after everything is over, right? I've taken care of this, taken care of that. I'm not, you have adrenaline pumping to take care of what you have to do. But the chronic stress, or when you are after you're done with your activity and you're still thinking, your brain can't be still, you're still anxious, you're still like just tired, you're stressed. If it continues, that's kind of when you start knowing that, oh, I need to go in to see a doctor. I need to go in. I have some sort of mental issue. So it's something that just keeps spiraling and never stops. That's how you can tell the difference. But if it's like you're having an activity and you're like, okay, I need to take care of this, I need to do this, do this, do that, and take care of the activity. I'm a little bit, I need to get it done. So you have another that prompt for you to do it. But then after it's over, that should be okay. So you just keep on moving on to your next activity. But if it continues all through and you can't rest, your mind keeps wandering, you can't be still, you can't be happy, then you know, okay, now I need to really, really go in to talk with my physician.
Thank you very much. We have some questions in here, and it says a lot of us work long shifts, double jobs, or overnight schedules. What practical nutrition routine do you recommend for busy Nigerian families in America? And then there's another one like, we are thanking you, the host. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I think you should also accept that. So they are thanking the host and the moderator to say, what about someone that loves eating rice every day? How do you go about this? Yeah.
Okay, so I will start with the long shifts, double jobs, overnight schedules. Okay, one thing I would recommend, I don't know if this person, if whoever, like if some of us can do it, but the way that times have evolved over time, people have started to look at intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is not that difficult. It's just like some of us eat
Listen,
breakfast.
wait, I'm in a meeting. Go and look for me shoes
Some of
now.
us
Oh,
eat
you've
our
done it already. Sorry.
That's okay. Some of us eat our breakfast at 11 a.m. That is something that is considered intermittent fasting. So one of the things that we can do for busy Nigerian families is this. So I always say, eat the biggest meal of your day. Eat your biggest meal of your day at the time that you are most active. So for somebody that works nights, for somebody that works nights shift, your biggest meal would will then come right before you're going to work. You see? So you want to play around your schedule in a way because your metabolism will be slower when you're sleeping. So you want to eat your biggest meal when if you're going to overnight work right before you go to work. And then when you come back from work, you may just take something like like yogurt or something very light. So doing that will actually help you ensure that you're still taking care of yourself nutritionally. So that will be something that you can do. And then you can also dive into for that person, or for the family, you could also, not for the kids, but for the family, the adults in the home could dive into what intermittent fasting. You could eat your first meal at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. and then you stop eating around 6 7. So those are ways to do. And another thing for busy families, you can do meal prep. So you can do meal prep, you can prep your meals like on the weekend. So you could do something like, if you're like meal prep, just blend your tomatoes, your red bell pepper, have that mixture down ready to go. Because what happens really is that, like when we're so busy, sometimes we're busy with long schedules, you get so busy that before you know, you're like, okay, I'm so tired, I can't cook today, let me go eat out. I'm so tired, I can't eat today, let me go order pizza. I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I can't have time, let me go. So if you do meal prep and then have what you're gonna eat for the week, have like what you're gonna eat for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Have that. I'm not saying prepare it though. I'm saying just have a schedule of what you're gonna eat. Have a meal plan for the week, and then prepare meal prep. Not the whole meal. You can just do like you have your tomatoes. You have your tomatoes, red bell pepper blended on the weekend. Then it'll be easy for the weekday, or your chicken already cooked already. So then on Saturday, on the weekend and on the weekdays, you can just easily bring whatever you have in the refrigerator and just make something light for the home. And then, okay, for the person that said that they love to eat rice every day, so eating rice is okay as long as you're eating it in moderation. So I like rice. I like to eat rice as well. So different options you could do. You can eat your rice, but when you have your rice, if you have your rice, you could use you could have more vegetables and still have your rice, but a little bit of rice. So you can have like 1/3 cup, but have more vegetables, more fruit. So that's one way. Another thing you can do, you can substitute your rice and use the cauliflower rice instead of your regular rice. You could also use the white rice. I use white rice personally. I like white rice. You can't even taste when you cook the white rice. You can't taste. It still tastes like white rice to me. So you could use white rice. You could use cauliflower rice. You could also use You could also use brown rice. So those are different ways you can eat your rice and be okay.
Okay, there's another question. Does a vibration machine act as exercise?
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Like what?
okay. A vibration machine is like something you climb on. Like it's just like a roller
Oh
coaster,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
like
seen
so
that.
you climb
Okay.
on, then it shakes you. So is that exercise? Would you call that exercise?
Personally, I won't call that like cardio, but there's actually now I'm saying it. There's a study that looked at that and they said that so for those that are not able to work out, if you go on the vibration machine, I think it helps with the muscle and the bones, but it does something for the body though. So if you're the vibration machine, but you're doing it like you do it, it's not something you do yes, they use it for lymphatic drainage, yes. So depending on what you're using it for. So some doctors will recommend it because they want the it helps to release the blood. It helps to shake the body to make the blood move like faster into the different regions of the body, the organs. So having that also helps. So sometimes they will recommend that. So if you're asking if it does count as exercise, if you're not able to do cardio and that is all you can do, then that's fine. But if you're able to do cardio, or if you're able to do cardio, then do cardio, and then you can also use the vibration machine for about 3 times a week. But cardio is something that you should actually you should do more of, like high heat, high intensity interval training. So those are very, very important. So if that's all you have to do, if that's all you can do, that's okay. But if you're able to do cardio to really, really work out, then I recommend you work out and then add the vibration machine later on.
This is all we can take for this session. We are the what we are asked to call it a day, but now one final question. Now, assuming everything you've told us today is a table, right? And then it has different pillars or different legs to it. Now, what is one of those pillars that will be the support in case one or the other pillar or any of the pillar is missing? What is that one pillar that you think is the ultimate that supersedes every other thing, such that if you get it right, you still be able to somehow make up for the other parts, that is, we can then eventually, get it up to par. So very short, maybe 1 minute, and then we call it a day.
All right. So I would say nutrition. I would say nutrition. Nutrition is the bigger one because there are times that people work. Some of my clients would work out and they're not eating right. And when they work out, they're not eating right. They don't lose any weight. They just remain the way they are. They are still stressed. They're still not okay. But if you're eating right, because food is if you're eating right, food is life. Like if you're eating right, you are taking care of your body. You will think more, you'll be able to do things. So I would say nutrition. Nutrition is will be my founding pillar, is the one
Thank
pillar that I would
you.
say is
Thank you.
recommended.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Okay.
And so at this point, I think the meeting has come to an end. Thank you to everyone that joined us. And thank you so much. You have done so well.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you too. All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, mommy.